Hey, this is part Homo sapien. I've been sick the past few days, and I've noticed that since I've been playing multiplayer games a little bit more, specifically a video game called Hold Fast, the degeneracy within those games have gone up from like 5 to 100 now. Hold Fast is a Napoleonic, line fighting multiplayer game where everyone agrees to join and follow an officer and do what he says. But that's the thing, is no one just does that anymore. It's shoot once, charge, and you randomly get shot, and it's ridiculous. And lately I've been trying to get groups of people to play it the way it's supposed to be played. Hey, make ready, present arms, fire, or charge, and all that crap. I generally have fun doing that, and like the guys who want to do it with me, they have fun too. But we'll get people who will antagonize us and be like, "You're gonna lose us the game. It's our fault." The ragtag of 10 groups, the group of 10 guys that I've curried together at the beginning of the match to join me, just doing the little bit of firing line stuff. We're not gonna make or break the game, to be honest. I've seen one guy kill 20 dudes with in melee and stuff. There's some pretty, crazy melee people where they're doing some weird crap to manipulate how fast they move their swing, because that used to be a thing. But that's besides the point. Is multiplayer games in general have gone downhill because men and women who play these games feel that it's the safe space for them to sit there and act like a shit ass. When I mean shit ass, is that they wouldn't do this on a basketball court. They wouldn't talk shit like how they do on a basketball court, how they do in video games, because in video games, it's anonymous. Can't see your face. The only thing we can do is see your voice might turn on because you're talking out your ass, or you're typing crazy dumb shit in global chat in multiplayer games. And at the end, people are going to find out that it's, there's no point in playing multiplayer games. For me, when multiplayer games became a thing due to, Xbox and PC and stuff, specifically Xbox Live for me, I have found friends, actual friends that live in my state and stuff, who are friends with me to this day that are in my Discord, and sometimes you'll hear on my videos and stuff like that. And we have, we like guns, we go out shooting, we go hunting, we go out and do stuff, together and everything in real life. It was a way to connect, not a way to create discord and factions of distress and division, and that's all the internet's become. So multiplayer games have become like Reddit in my mind, where everyone has an opinion, and every opinion is right. Therefore, if you don't believe in my opinion that is truth, you are either a racist, a homophobe, or something that is not me, therefore I hate you. That's what multiplayer games have become now, where the vast majority of the free-to-play are fucking shit, brain rot, dodo little kids crap. Like Overwatch is one of the ones that I've seen. Marvel Rivals, I didn't even play these games. I played Overwatch when it first came out. Like my friends "Oh, come play this with me." I'm like, I fucking hate this. And sweaty fucking nerds are playing this stuff, where the games that I like to play, where I get good enough in them, where I create my own mission sets, my own disadvantages or advantages in the game. When my buddies and I, we used to play Battlefield, we would purposely pick up the transport helicopter, insert a couple of us into a point, especially on Conquest. Take Conquest, hold it. If they needed to be picked up to take another one, I'd usually be the helicopter pilot to pick them up, take them to a new point, because I enjoyed doing that, and it was for the experience, or what the edge that it gave me to be running that stuff like that. So now I've got people screaming in my ear like, "You're a fucking retard. Go kill yourself. You're ruining the game for us." When I'm like, I'm playing the game how I want to play. I don't have to play by your rule set. Specifically in games like Squad. My buddies and I will get so bored with the way how Squad is played now that we'll come up with our own mission sets and requirements for how we want to play the game. I've had a few months ago, I was live streaming Squad, came back to it after a while, and I found out that I fucking hate Squad now. It is nothing but a bunch of screech ear rapers who are saying, don't vote for that team, you don't know how to play that team, no one, that team sucks. And basically it's factions. Basically and like they're picking maps that are just boring, I find boring. And they're picking factions that like are just dog shit, like because they feel like it has more of an advantage. If you truly know how to play Squad, you'll know that any faction can defeat any faction if you have coordination. That's the whole point of Squad, is having team coordination. I'm purposely not showing my face because A, I'm working, and B, I'm just saying, using this as a representation of what you basically get in multiplayer games. It's just some voice talking. So but yeah, Squad, you can beat anybody with any faction. You just have to have good coordination, actually know what your assets are and what they do. Not this, I'm going to keep a battle tank in the back line instead of supporting my troops and stuff and go fob hunting. Or, I'm not going to use this helicopter. I'm going to keep just try to save it, and I'm only going to just fly overhead and then occasionally drop off munitions. People play multiplayer games now without sacrifice, especially in those types of games, when the whole point is like there can be sacrifice. That's why it's a game. It's not a real life scenario and stuff. I know you want to make it that, but the whole part of playing games is have a fun and great experience. And I feel like that's being violated more now today than it was, say, 10, 15 years ago. When the first, granted, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty did not help, though. Those lobbies were crazy. But in reality, no one actually meant the horrible shit they used to say. They're all just saying it because they're all a bunch of dumb kids. But the games I've been playing lately, it's not dumb kids. It's fucking adults screaming hateful, horrible things because... I don't know, shock value factor, but in my mind, I think they generally mean the shit that they're saying, and granted, my language isn't the best. Y'all probably heard me say fucking retard, gaylord, and all amounts of horse shit. But I don't fucking mean it. For me, it's just a little bit of razzing and messing around and stuff like that, because we're having fun with my friends, and usually I call my friends that stuff. So, again, I hate it when an admin gets on and says, you're not playing the game right. And I'm like, no, I'm playing the game. I'm just not playing it the way you want me to play it because we have difference of opinion how we're playing it. Again, this goes back to playing Hold Fast the past few days and making recordings. Like, I like doing the whole line battle things. And if you've ever played War of Rights, that's even way more chaotic. And because of how they did the level system in War of Rights, and I wasn't playing when they introduced that where I could be level 100 because I'm a Kickstarter, everything like that, I can't ever be a fucking commander. I gotta play a shit ton of time on that and everything like that stuff. I just don't have the time to fucking put into the games anymore because unfortunately I'm a responsible adult. I have to work and pay bills, and I make money that, pays for what I want to do. Like the phone that I'm recording on right now, I worked hard to pay for that. Therefore, when I come home at the end of my work shift, I worked hard to come home and pay for these games that I own and computer setup and stuff that I'd like to use without some little screechy teenager, young adult screaming over here like, you're fucking us, you're so horrible, you don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. Like, unfortunately, I do know what I'm doing. For the fact that I'm a contributing member of society who's married, has a wife. A lot of people think, oh, he's married, that doesn't mean nothing. No, I have to explicitly say, has a wife, has a dog, pays bills, has taxes, all sorts of shit. And I just want to play games and have fun experiences. But the way people are playing multiplayer now is that my truth is fact. Therefore, if you don't believe in my truth or opinion, you're racist or homophobic or bigoted. And if you don't play the game that I want, the way I want to play the game, then you are a racist and you're a toxic player. Blah, 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 blah. I've heard it from both sides of players, including myself. And yeah, I'll get irritated. But most of the time when I get irritated with multiplayer game players is that I can perceive that they're doing something that wasn't initially meant to be done in the game, like either glitches or they're actually straight up cheating. And that's a whole another thing now about, the cheating in games now. I know there's been like a big controversy of like streamers apparently cheating in games, and they'll be like, so what? I can do it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but you're part of the problem. You're showing that it's okay for people to do it, and that there's no recourse for you to do those horrible, dumb things. So, that's the issue. But that's a whole different scenario thing. I'm just go back to the root of it. Multiplayer games are meant to have fun with your friends and make new friends. Don't worry about how other people are playing the game unless it's actually disrupting like the way the game was meant to be played, aka cheating / duping or exploits that weren't originally made. And partially, a lot of that can be put on the game developer and publisher for not making a finished product too. But don't you ever fucking dare come in and disrespect me in a video game in a way that, alienates me and others from playing the way that we want to play by shaming us in the way that we're playing. Because these games get boring and repetitive time after time. So the fact that I want to play the game how the game actually is meant to be played, meaning coordination, actual tactics, fuck off and let me and my buddies fucking play the way we want to play. Because at the end of the day, we don't really care about your opinions. We're just tired of hearing it. Therefore, we mute you and don't listen to you. Which, yeah, that's probably going to lose the game because we can't hear you when you actually want our help. And we're just like, no, that dude can go fuck off. Like, he was an asshat. No, we're not listening to him. Because I've done that in video games before. I have purposely not listened to people because they disrespected me. Like, again, Squad 44, aka known as Postscriptum, Beyond the Wire. All these games require teamwork and effort and communication. Communication is the very cornerstone, brick foundation of these games. Is communicating with your teammates and other commanders or officers or whatever you want to call them. And everyone's like, oh, you're just RPing, being an MC, main character. Like, no. Like, I give two shits. But if other people want to play with me the way I want to play, I'm going to try to rally them to my cause, and we're going to play the game and have fun with it. We don't care if we win or lose. We like the experience, the enjoyment of actually playing the game the way how we want to play. So, I know I'm just rambling on about a bunch of stuff, and it may not all be coherent, but again, this is just me using an example of you're just behind a screen, rambling and talking to other people who are behind the screens, and at the end of the day, nobody fucking cares what you have to say except for people who feel alienated or violated by your intrusion into their consciousness. So, if you don't like what I have to say, if you don't like what I'm doing, you can just walk away, leave at any time. But I love video games, and I hate that some video games get destroyed because of terrible communities. And let's be honest, this is the worst one to be blown out of proportion. Mordhau. There was no voice communication, nor is there real communication to begin with in that, because that was just an all-out sword melee fight thing. That game, I love that game, by the way. High learning curve, and it's steep learning curve. It took me about 3 months to get comfortable with the controls and everything like that, and understand how it really was. But then, you had some real shit asses that learned how to manipulate it and do some stuff that you wasn't ever really meant to do. And now there's actual blatant cheats because the devs have walked away from it. I actually have a really cool tattoo that's, on my left arm called "Parry This, You Filthy Casual." It's a meme. I literally have a knight in armor, full suit knight in armor on my left forearm. that has a gun in one hand and a knife in the other, and it's a meme from that game, and I love that game. That game was the funnest thing ever because we scream at each other, God wills it, all sorts of Crusader crap and everything. Because my buddies and I like history. It might not be the most historical accurate game, but it gave you that sense of this is what it meant to be in a medieval, melee fight. Because there were some groups that would get together, put on shield walls, and do all sorts of crazy fun crap, And then you got the people that just be like, I'm better than you, bow down to me, kiss my knee. When at the end of the day, we don't really care about you. Like, we're having fun. But again, cheaters and exploiters got ruined, and that's why if you go on the Steam page and look at the discussions, there's literally a guy like, I don't understand why people keep leaving this game. He's probably one of the guys that, did all the horseshit exploit cheating stuff that went on with it. The fact that, you have people say there's no cheating in this game. The fact that Battlefield 6 has metrics now for cheaters and stuff that they have to consistently remove and get rid of tells you that not all games are impervious to this type of stuff. And the people that are saying oh, there's no cheating, they're probably the ones doing it, to be honest, because they feel that there's no way they can get caught, or B, they just don't care. It'd be they'll sit there and say skill issue when number one game for me, Sand, bunch of cheaters. People told me it was a skill issue. We literally had a guy teleport into our trampler, and I was like, why is my trampler lost control? He kept TPing in there, and then all of a sudden his buddies with a large ass Royal trampler showed up to TP in front of us on it. I wish I was streaming that day because we killed 4 tramplers one after another because they didn't stop coming and they don't stop coming in that game. And that was during just a regular not the storm dive, but just expedition thing. I set up my rig where I thought it would be advantageous for us to have a machine gun, essentially 2 machine guns on my left and right, and I had a top 80mm turret just fucking laying waste to the deck, causing chaos, and we fucking won every battle. And then all of a sudden, this little buttfuck came in and ruined our whole day, and we were loaded in that. And people try to tell me, oh, that's a skill issue. After that, we wrote a review. My buddy Dizzy and our mutual friend, acquaintance Silhouette, each wrote a negative review about how we love the game, but it's ruined by cheaters and everything like that. And then the community will sit there and say, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, you're trash, blah, blah, blah. But no. Those are the ones, you usually find the people that cry the loudest about there's nothing wrong with it are the ones committing, the acts of crap. So, I'm about to be 35. I've been playing games since I was 10 years old. My first video game ever that got me hooked was Halo Combat Evolved, and I heard that an egregiousness was done to it, something that's very outrageous, but it is what it is. So, but again, don't crap on my play style of multiplayer games. Don't crap on other people's play style of multiplayer games. If you don't have anything good to say, just shut up. So, again, part Homo sapien. Part Homo sapien, you can figure out the other side of me if you come play video games with me. So, have a good one.